In this unit, we're going to turn to metaphysics. When we do metaphysics, we're trying to get a sense for the universe as a whole, what can be said truthfully of the general features of the universe. We're asking questions about whether the universe is fundamentally causal or chaotic, whether a God exists or not, and if so, what kind of a God exists, whether the universe is fundamentally open to human design. Metaphysics can get very technical, but we all operate within some sort of a metaphysical framework, some sense for the way the universe around us works and how we fit into the working of that universe. Now, metaphysics is difficult and very controversial. One of the themes of the course is indeed that theme, that everything in philosophy is controversial, and metaphysics is certainly no exception here. It's controversial in part because the issues are difficult. They're difficult because they're abstract, and we are thinking very big picture, so it's very easy for people to make different judgment calls when thinking on that kind of a scale. Now, another reason, though, why metaphysics, and by implication everything else in philosophy, metaphysics being one of the foundational branches of philosophy, is controversial, has to do with the historical feature of our civilization. We do not live in a monoculture. That is to say, we don't live in a culture on which everybody is on the same page, essentially, in terms of their views philosophically about what the good life is, how we come to know things, what our core social relationships should be, or the nature of the universe in which we exist. Instead, in the modern world, we developed the beginnings of a hybrid civilization where we drew on two very powerful, long-lived ancient civilizations that had very different philosophical approaches, including very different metaphysical foundations. And in the modern world, we try off and on to integrate those two, and it's not a happy integration. So to illustrate this, what I want to do by way of introduction to metaphysics is talk about two stories. And I'm just going to call them stories, not to prejudge the issue of truth or falsity here. Instead, I'll present each as a narrative. They're narratives that we in the 21st century are all familiar with in our civilization. We've all heard of them. We might not be experts on the ins and outs of each of the stories, but at least in broad outline, we know both of these stories. So I want to talk through the two stories in their own terms, lay them out, and then make a set of contrasts and comparisons between the two stories to put us in our metaphysical predicament, as I'm going to call it.